4. Hey! What up? We are back. Go for it. Is that what somebody said? I'm glad we switched out to the black clap. You know what I'm saying? It gets me more excited. I can feel the energy of my ancestors flow through me as we go on another mission to dismantle white supremacy in all of its forms.
Yes.
Yeah. My name is Ja X. I'm co-founder and CEO of One Hood Media. And to my immediate right,
don't start. If you want to go, if you want to have this show just like devolve, play my drum.
Play a drum. Can you play? Yeah. It's a miracle. Absolutely. Remember the last time we had to talk about Ja Morant? It kind of went all the way. I'm glad that you don't have a mask on this time.
You know what?
Trouble's with us though. He's here to calm us down. Miracle, would you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, it's your girl, Big Blessing with a Big Blessing. Here for turning up today on this lovely election Tuesday.
Yes. We are. It's Primary Tuesday in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
And my brother.
It's your boy, Treble Never Like Supremacy. Niggas love Shaheen. Next level Shaman. You know what I'm saying?
I think we have to make sure that can we get Treble like a pack of One Hood Power gear? Yes, no.
Listen,
do you have power?
I do.
Clothes? Oh, you do.
No one tells me.
Oh, no one tells you.
Nigga, it's election day.
We had a whole
Where's
chat.
your deductive reasoning?
We had a whole chat.
We have a whole a whole One Hood staff chat.
We talked about this yesterday on the staff chat.
We have
the staff meeting.
We have a whole extra, page, One Hood Power that hopefully you follow. Maybe you don't. I don't know.
I don't know. Niggas
I know
look
that's
stupid.
your favorite. You know what I'm saying?
I looked around and was like, damn, again.
Yeah, again. Got you again.
Man.
It happened again, huh?
Niggas look surprised.
Yes. And
luckily we have extras.
Yes, we do. I think we have some. Next time, I got to keep your size just an extra.
Niggas lack synchronicity.
Yes.
We do need a closet.
You would think niggas lack shirts.
Yes.
We have a One Hood closet.
And
nobody cares who he is.
Oh, shoot. Wow.
Well, my name's not nobody, Saeed, so I care who you are.
Farouk, for those that don't know, Farouk turned down.
Whatever.
Miracle
You want to
Okay.
play games?
Farouk.
Play games this whole episode.
Who are you? Who are you?
I'm barely here. That's why. I'm clinging.
The waist.
I'm clinging right now because it's not given what it's supposed to. It's me, the supreme Asiatic, intelligently divine, the infinitely annoyed, the astonishingly arrogant. All of that.
All that and then some.
All that and then some. Come on.
How? See, but we have good news.
Do we?
Yes, because
Good is subjective on this show.
we've been in this fight. To dismantle.
All my life I had to fight.
Yes,
Nigga.
to dismantle white supremacy in all its forms. So when to this day, right?
To this day.
And we need allies in this fight.
Ally is a rough word. I wouldn't exactly use ally, but okay, keep going.
Well, I said we need allies.
Yes, we do need allies. Yes.
And it's particularly when these allies hold a prominent position in our nation, and our I almost said our brother.
Come on.
You reached
Our brother, President Uncle Joe,
Brother Biden.
Brother Biden.
That sounds like a deacon at your mom's church.
Well,
Brother Biden, he be fixing cars on the weekend.
Brother Biden touched down at the HBCU. You know what I'm saying? And he had some words. You know what I'm saying? You know how when you get around black people and what I'm saying, the spirit and the ancestors were flowing, and I guess corn pop maybe. The spirit of corn pop.
You know what I want to know is, didn't somebody in this room go to Howard? How do you feel about Joe going to your old alma
He hates
mater?
You can't ask. Ross hates everything. Ross is the hater.
I'm shocked because Ross hates more than I do, and I'm God damn, and I hate everything.
Yes. It is fascinating.
How you sleep in and still wake up earlier to hate than me? That's what I don't get.
Ross He's like
damn.
He's he has the spirit of Uncle Ruckus, but without the white supremacy, but just
Remember Tom Haters on Chappelle's show?
Yes. So anyway, can you Joe Biden did the commencement, and of course it was not just Ross. There were students at Howard that I guess were protesting. They wasn't feeling, President Biden doing the commencement speech, but President Biden stepped in, right? What was his intro music? What did President Biden say about too?
Yeah, he probably care some Master P, No Limit Soldier shit, man.
All we do is win, no matter what. What did he walk out?
What if he came out of like Hail Mary or some shit like that?
That would be hard.
Illuminati all through your body like the Joseph a 12 shotty. Yeah, man.
I ain't a killer, but no pussy.
He is a killer, so he can't say.
I mean, every president is a killer. So did we want to share, President Biden had some words at Howard that went viral. Can you share those words from our president? Brother Biden.
White supremacy, as I did my inaugural address, to single out as the most dangerous terrorist threat to our homeland is white supremacy.
That's right.
I'm not saying this because I'm...
Oh, no, you missed that part. He's like, I'm not saying it just because I'm with all y'all black people.
Hold on, let me turn it down because that was the feedback on the video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Did you want to play it again? Maybe we'll...
And I'm not saying this because I'm at a black HBCU.
Why you say black like that?
Yeah. I say it wherever I go.
Well, that's what people said. Like, actually, if he understood what the acronym HBCU
he wouldn't have had to say black.
He wouldn't have had to say black. Like, that's actually in the acronym.
Anytime I see anything,
every HBCU is black. Like, that's why they're called HBCUs.
They're not historically brown?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, historically black.
Yeah, historically black. You know what I'm saying? So, how did y'all feel about, I'll start with you, Miracle, as our director of advocacy and policy. It's primary day. Joe Biden has recently announced he's running for re-election. And of course, the last time, black people saved him, particularly black women. Came out in droves.
Why you gotta put that on us?
No, black women showed up at such a high percentage. Biden won the presidency. Here's Biden at Howard. Is this Biden pandering? Or is this Biden, feeling himself, Uncle Joe?
No, this is Biden being like, look, they about to come for me. I need y'all to help. That's basically what it is. We have seen the past week a bunch of people cosplaying and marching through the Capitol.
True.
We have elected officials who are literally threatening terrorism, so they're going to blow things up as we head into this like debt limits conversation where people are fighting over the budget. And Biden's like, look, I understand we may not get along, but we got mutual enemies.
We do. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Yeah.
He should have played Many Men by 50 Cent. That's what he really should have.
Many Men. With Jeff. Yo, if he came out to that would have been crazy.
The only thing that would have been hard if he came out like, what up, blood? What up, cuz?
No, but many men wish death upon Biden.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, these they go crazy with their hatred over Biden. It's kind of fascinating.
Who do you think they hate more, Biden or Mike Pence?
Oh, they hate Biden.
Yeah.
They hate, but the question would be, who do they hate, Biden or Obama more? And I gotta go with the black man on that one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But many men would have been crazy.
Yeah, so that's why he said that. But then he was like, I know what y'all social media people are going to do, so let me clarify it.
Yes.
I don't just say it to the blacks.
Yes, he did say
I
that.
say this all the time.
Thinking on his feet. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you know what I mean? Go ahead, Joe. Trouble Farouk.
So, I think it's fascinating how certain white people only want to denounce white supremacy culture when it starts to become a threat to them.
Ooh. Get this man some gunshots, man. That's crazy. Wow.
We've been trying to tell these niggas for years how much of a problem white supremacy culture is, but let them storm the Capitol looking for blood on their hands.
let me correct you. That was legitimate political discourse.
Right.
Defend your friend. Defend your friend.
That was legitimate
He did say earlier that he has a pair of khakis. So.
He did.
I didn't know khakis was like.
Where are you at this weekend?
Don't start that shit. Don't start that. You know who the fuck I was, nigga.
No, where
do
you know?
It smelled like a petting zoo. That's
No. We're gonna cut that out. We're gonna cut that out.
All festivals smell. I didn't say which festival.
Yeah. It was multiple festivals this week.
We're just gonna blur that. Blur the
multiple festivals.
I want to know why wasn't Kamala invited to speak at Howard?
That's because she was on Parking Lot Pimpin'.
She was on. That was fascinating.
Was she really?
Yes, she was.
On yeah. Do you know what that is?
No, that just sounds like a funny.
No, it's a sister. I think her name's Lene, right?
Yeah.
That has a very popular like Instagram.
Oh, she's
channel.
I'm gonna keep it black, but keep it brief. Okay, she's dope. Yeah, she's dope. She's super dope.
Yeah. On there
because she shouted us out once.
She did.
Yeah. Okay,
definitely. So,
she had Kamala on there.
She had Kamala.
I would, in my opinion, I'll be honest with you. I think that's better than Howard.
I mean, that was and the way that she did it, it was actually a good look for Kamala.
Because she needs all the good press she can get right now,
particularly in those black spaces. Because Kamala. Did
she have a silk press when she went on there?
I mean, she was, Kamala gonna keep it fresh.
What I'm saying? Like, she gonna keep it brief.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Farouk.
Anytime I see like an old white man in robes like that, like Joe Biden's like nigga look like Skeletor with flesh on him, man. Like he look like he's about to start casting spells in that robe.
Like, he had some Harry Potter flashbacks.
Man, listen, I thought this nigga was about to hit us with the Avada Kedavra real quick.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It's just like he just gave off like really evil, insidious vibes in that robe.
But he did his thing, and I think
a Sith Lord, like Emperor Palpatine addressing the Empire or some shit.
But
man.
I think like
go ahead, geek out.
Kamala as a VP coming to Howard, being that she's graduated from Howard, would have been kind of like
that's what I was kind of getting at. But
again, like Miracle said, like Biden knows, like he needs to recapture the support from our community.
I wonder if he paid her. He's like, yo, let me take this one. I'll give you $50,000.
Nah, but I mean,
has she spoken before? I don't know.
I don't know if she's been at Howard for their commencement, but I think like to me, this was a good way. I mean, obviously we're seeing they understand like the black vote is what carried them over.
Absolutely.
They have to get the black vote now. What we have to do as black people, I believe, is we have to say, okay, yeah, you can get our vote. However, we need A, B, C, D, E, and F.
We need we need something that's.
We need these executive orders to start coming down.
Absolutely,
like none of this. Oh, Congress won't let me do it. Bring these executive orders down. That's kind of what we need at that point. You know what I'm saying from Joe Biden. Yeah. So we need more than like this was cool. Like go to Howard. I like the fact. I mean, and it's not like Joe Biden said anything that the FBI hadn't said. Right. I mean, this is a fact. Like white supremacy terrorism has done the most quote unquote domestic terrorism. We just saw the white supremacists do, was that in Texas, in Dallas?
Yeah, killed 5 people.
You know what I'm saying? Including like this family, you know what I'm saying? This Asian family. Like, so we've seen white supremacist terrorism and its effect happen. And like you said, we see these guys khakied up in their little white masks on, marching to the Capitol for I don't know what they're doing or what their plans are.
Are they having like KN95 masks or is it like because I thought they were
no, they
masks.
have the white.
Do they leave you out
I don't know.
It's
up.
Damn.
Woo! Miracle for the twins.
Let the record reflect he started with me.
Do you know how the black mass, we call it the poosh icy? We need to call
like a balaclava.
We need to call their we need to call that something. I don't know. We need to name that something for the whites. You know what I'm saying? For the white members of their Patriot Front. Yeah.
Let me walk back real fast to keep talking about Joe Biden. I don't know. Him speaking at Howard, maybe this is me just being very critical, just seems like he's ramping up his platform for yet another symbolism over substance campaign.
I mean, I think that's where we come in, right?
Yeah.
Because just like you said, we can do that.
Right.
Like, in some people's hearts, it does, Joe Biden spoke at
we've been here. It's like deja vu. We've seen this before,
exactly. And so it was promises that were made in 2020. Yeah. And, we were critical. We did the thing with NBC News where we talked about like, we put a lot of effort into Biden getting elected. Of course, Pennsylvania decided that election.
Yeah.
And, it seemed like our issues, whether it was policing, whether it was some other issues, whether it was protecting our voting rights, like all of these issues were pushed to the background. And it was like, everything else, even like reparations, all of those things were pushed to the back. And everything else seemed to become a priority at that point. So I think for us, that's where we have to say as a community, like, hey, we're going to need to see you do some things.
Doc Rivers got fired.
Somebody got fired yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like we kind of knew what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Sorry, Philadelphia. I was there, and it was, people were like super depressed. Sorry, Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, well, I guess you brought up Doc Rivers. Did we want to get into Miracle's problematic?
Wait before we get to our problematic fave.
I do have one more comment after Miracle.
You can go.
I was just going to say, as critical as I am of white people only denouncing white supremacy when it becomes a threat to them, I am happy that they finally recognize that it is a threat to all of us.
Is Joe Biden white people? Does he speak for all white people?
He doesn't speak for all white people, but he is a white person.
Yes. He definitely is.
Is Joe Biden a person? And he's not a wizard, like some being in that robe looking to cast evil spells.
No, he was. I mean, well, he wants to put a spell on us to vote for him. You know what I'm saying?
Well played. Yeah. Very well played.
It's very QAnonish. Is Biden a person? Just want you to.
That was actually really good. That was really good.
I just want you to see where your friend is.
Do they believe in stuff like that?
Save him.
Do they really?
Yes,
okay.
they do.
Save your friend. No, I also there is a viral picture, and I put it in the chat.
Yes.
One of the graduates did on his cap put Biden Harris don't care about black people. Woo! And so there is I think going to be a really need for some substance.
Absolutely.
Because it really is not looking well for Uncle Joe.
It's not.
And I think we have to really talk about how CNN just had Trump on for their town hall the day he actually lost a sexual assault civil suit. And so Joe's going to have to really come out with all the stops and really not play the fence or pivot to the right, and really is going to have to get people out here to the polls. So it's going to be very interesting because the motivation really isn't there right now to go all gung ho for Biden Harris.
Right.
That's a fact. We do not have the motivation, nor do we there's no compulsion in there.
I mean, well, the motivation is kind of similar to 2020 in the sense that if it's Trump, the motivation is we don't want to elect Trump. Because it was really like I said, my vote was for not Trump. It wasn't for Biden. It was against Trump. But like you mentioned, Miracle, the polls that came out and the new polls, and it showed that Trump was ahead. And Trump has made, for whatever reason, I mean...
this nigga is literally...
almost said maybe we should ask Farouk. Trump's inroads into the black community. Farouk, do you know why Donald Trump...
Look, Trump said he just want to free his friends from prison.
Man.
That's what Trump said. He did. He said he going to pardon. He going to pardon January
6th. Rudy's friend said that they were selling them for $2 million.
Raping Rudy said it was $2 million a pop for
allegedly. Because Rudy would probably try to sue us.
Probably, yeah. You know allegedly,
yeah. Rudy would have you on the stand.
His tan and everything.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, Rudy Giuliani, his business manager, a consultant. Suing him for $30 million, and she said it was just her whole time there was just one big long sexual assault attempt or whatever by Rudy Giuliani. She said she got tapes of this man. It gets pretty graphic. I wouldn't, but read it yourself. It gets pretty graphic, but I mean, it goes in line with Rudy Giuliani. I mean, remember there was a point in time where Rudy Giuliani was called America's mayor.
Yep.
Where he was you probably don't, it's probably you might have been too young, Trouble. He was the most popular mayor. And it seemed like the next day he was what can I do to destroy my name and reputation? And every day he's worked more diligently to make himself a laughingstock. You had something, Miracle?
Why was he America's mayor? What did he do?
He really didn't do anything, but he happened to be mayor when 9/11 happened. And because of, I guess, his response to 9/11, he was called America's mayor. And remember, he ran for president because everybody was oh, Rudy Giuliani, he's such a great guy. And come to find out that he's a horrible, horrible human being. And now possibly somebody that's committed multiple sexual assaults, according to this person. And she said she has it on tape.
That's why.
She has him on tape saying, "Be Rudy slut."
Whoa.
Yes, bro. It gets deep. It gets deeper.
Pause.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness.
Grow But
is that a pause though? Because I mean,
it really wasn't. But I think that if you read some of the things that he's accused of, you're like, Rudy probably did that. Like you see,
1,000%.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm like,
you see the way his hair dye was running on camera. Like clearly, he don't care. Rudy don't care.
Some of the stuff, it was just like, okay, obviously this man's a bigot.
Yes.
But then other stuff is like, this is horrible.
Bigot and a misogynist.
And this is why we really
chauvinist.
need like unions, and this is why we need worker protection, and this is why even contractors need ways to be supported in the workplace.
Absolutely.
But reading the allegations it's very disturbing. So just
super disturbing. Yeah.
Caution, because when it first dropped, they were like, "Oh, he's being sued for a toxic work environment," and you're like, "Wait, this is a little more
totally different
than that." So just be cautious when you read.
And this is Noel Dunphy, and it says, unfortunately, Giuliani's seemingly generous offers were a sham, motivated by his secret desire to pursue a sexual relationship with Miss Dunphy, and in total disregard for the restraints that should have protected her as his employee and client. That was her attorneys. He made clear that satisfying his sexual demands, which came virtually anytime, anywhere, was an absolute requirement of his employment, of her employment, and his legal representation. They said he drank alcohol and took Viagra constantly.
That's wild.
Yeah. Rudy and
It's Liddy in the city. That's what Rudy said.
So she's suing Rudy for $10 million. And
How old is he now? Is it because it couldn't that be like a wild heart issue?
Yep. Hey man,
Like-
Rudy's like, hey, I'm gonna go out. You know what
right?
I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Listen,
I'm gonna go out.
when I go out, I'm gonna go out shooting. I don't mean when I
Yeah.
die. I mean go out to the club. Stupid.
Yeah, I mean Rudy is wild, and but again, like you said, I mean it's wild, and it's like similar allegations have been made against President Donald Trump. You know, President Donald Trump was found liable for sexual assault.
So what does that mean? You're found liable for sexual assault?
So-
Go ahead, Miracle.
Because in civil cases you're not found guilty or innocent.
Right.
Liable is basically you're found culpable, which means there is some truth to the allegations against you.
Interesting. So the only damages you can seek are punitive, correct?
Financial.
Yes,
financial.
I
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
he owes her $55 million. I believe that's what he has
For
to pay.
culpability in a sexual
Absolutely.
assault case. So
Absolutely.
why couldn't they convict him on a sexual assault charge?
So sometimes it's like a statute of limitations.
Right.
So type
okay.
situation. I do believe in New York that because of the Catholic Church allegations, they changed the laws to allow people to sue.
Yeah,
Here in Pennsylvania, how they're trying to change the laws to allow people to sue longer, past like 5 years or 10 years.
Got you. Okay.
Same thing.
Wow. Okay.
But like you said, this is kind of when you look at. It's fascinating because the Republican Party is supposed to be like against grooming and about morals and Christianity, but they have all of these issues. I mean, Trump did a town hall on CNN, and when these allegations were brought up, when his loss in this civil case was brought up, where this woman said Trump raped her and he was found liable of sexual assault, the crowd laughed. Like they literally laughed at these allegations. And what was fascinating was a Harvard law professor basically came out and said that Trump confessed to multiple crimes during this CNN town hall. So CNN was rightfully criticized for giving Trump this platform and basically allowing him to just lie over and over and over again.
Did you see Anderson Cooper's response to that?
Yeah, I did. And again, love Anderson Cooper, but come on, man, that was some bullshit.
That was whack. It was tone deaf.
Right.
And it makes me wonder, the further CNN moves to the right, will Anderson Cooper leave?
Well, I think what's happening is CNN's ratings are in the ground.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to they said Newsmax beat CNN.
Oh, wow.
So they're trying to do whatever
they took the alcohol away.
Yeah.
That is when they took the alcohol away from CNN.
No, you can't get lit on New Year's, Dawn.
It just went away. They need to bring the alcohol back and the ratings will come back.
Yeah, so they basically said, this was a Harvard law professor. He said
CNN said anything is possible?
Well, but look, he said Trump's CNN performance was one long series of confessions. So maybe CNN is playing a long game. Maybe if this town hall is the reason Trump ends up in prison, we got to give it up to CNN. We got to say our bad.
Do we?
You know what I'm saying? We don't, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I would be happy. I'm sorry, that was $5 million. in defamation charges, not $55 million.
$5 million.
Yeah, so he got to pay her $5 million.
And the thing is, she sued for defamation, and he got on CNN and like disparaged her and lied on her again. It's like, sir,
yes,
no. And then also, I wonder what this means for CNN's culpability.
True, because
they allowed him to come on there knowing that he lies and does these things.
That is a great point. Like, particularly when we just saw what Fox News, had to give up with the Dominion lawsuit. There's another lawsuit on the way. It is fascinating to see if, these people like you knew, would she be able to sue him again and get more money from him because he's on there disparaging her, lying about her. Hopefully she will. One of the other things that transpired this week, but we talked last week about, what happened in New York City with Jordan Neely. At that time, Daniel Penny was not arrested. He has been arrested. He has been charged. He has been let go. I think he was charged with second-degree manslaughter. And Ron DeSantis and other white supremacists have raised now $1.5 million. I mean, we saw this coming, right? We saw this happen with Kyle Rittenhouse, where he was on video killing people, became this right-wing celebrity. They raised millions of dollars for him. And now Daniel Penny also gets millions of dollars. But it's also fascinating. This is being led by Ron DeSantis. And again, in an attempt to be who can be the most whitest, who can be the whitest candidate, who can be the most racist candidate. And it's wild, that's how you get the Republican nomination in 2024, right? 2023, 24 is who can be the most racist. So what do you all think about, this man getting charges put on him? And
I'm upset that they didn't put hands on him. Mm-hmm. Nobody put hands on him on the subway. But that's
you mean at that time?
At that time, yeah.
Yeah, true.
But I mean, it seems like this retroactive shit is performative.
Yes, I agree.
You know what I mean? Go ahead, Miracle. You about to say something?
I was going to say, I think what happened outside of the protest was more video was released, and that kind of forced the DA's hand because we were told that Jordan was, irate, aggressive, harming people.
Oh, the video, he's talking,
and he's just standing there, just talking.
Yes, he's standing there talking.
In your expert opinion, what do you think comes out of this?
I think they play it out.
Yeah.
It doesn't go to trial. I think it play it out. He probably will not do any. I would be shocked if he does more than a year in jail.
I'd be shocked if he does any jail.
I would say, what's he going to get? Manslaughter in the second degree? Some lesser manslaughter charge?
No, I think he'll still this charge, but you don't have to go to prison. It's
right,
automatic.
Yeah.
So I think it'll probably be some significant community service, probation. All of that.
Has he made a comment yet? Is he remorseful at all?
He said that his family released a statement, and they were basically we're sad that this tragedy occurred, and this is why we need mental health support in this country. And then Neely's family was like, "F that, you are a murderer, you need to be in prison." But I think because of the lack of community response and engagement on the train, it basically will not. I don't think the witnesses who were there are really going to say that they were not in fear for their life. I think they're just going to be like, it was an accident and it went too far. Right. But I just, I forget what it's called. I want to say it's Jeju or whatever. But there is this rise of teaching people how to do chokeholds.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow!
Particularly in far right. It's something else. It's not necessarily jujitsu, but it is about taking people down, being able to hold them in chokeholds and these wrestling maneuvers, and maybe jujitsu. I obviously do not do physical activity, so I don't know what the things are called. But I've noticed you see a lot of people trying to do these. You can laugh all you want to.
It's just the way you said it was funny.
That's just not that's not my thing.
Yeah,
I'm not judging you. People who are preparing for the end of the world and trying to take these courses, particularly to harm Black and brown people.
Absolutely.
So I was very weirded out by the fact that it was a chokehold that was 15 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
And that nobody really did anything until the very end.
Right. So he was charged with second-degree manslaughter. It says it carries a maximum of 5 to 15 years in prison if convicted.
But this would probably be his first offense, so.
But I think
he's a veteran.
Yeah, he's a veteran.
Probably has his own mental health issues.
Exactly.
And he's white. He's a blonde-haired, white 24-year-old. And so when we've seen, I
did not think that man was 24 when I seen him.
We saw the what was the guy at Stanford that raped a woman, and the judge was like, "Oh, he could be my son, and I don't want to ruin his life." So that's often the case when young white people go before these judges that are older white men, right? We saw the judge literally like become like Kyle Rittenhouse's pal. Like they're taking pictures in the courtroom. I've never seen a judge take a picture with a defense, but I do want to.
Fanny was out there. He probably gave me like 50 to life.
I do think it's
particularly
weird.
if Fanny found like he had like a secret SoundCloud with some raps on it. We're talking about Fanny, the DA in Atlanta and Georgia. You were saying, Trouble?
Yeah, I do think it's weird that they're ruling it an accidental murder. Because nothing about that looked like an accident. Like he fully intended to follow through with that.
And again, if you're a Marine, you should know the length of time to choke somebody. You because you're
not
trained.
take long. Yeah.
You should know that. But this is to me again when it's almost not even wild now when you think about like the discourse around Republicans, right?
Right.
Ron DeSantis actually labeled Daniel Penny a, quote, good Samaritan. And it's like...
Why are we bringing God into this? Why are we
it's
bringing
not
the
only
Bible
that,
into
but
this?
do you remember the story? Yeah, the Good Samaritan, like, you know, that guy needed help.
Yeah.
And, you know, the Good Samaritan came by and choked him to death, so now he don't need any more food. Obviously don't need any food or help
Don't need food or water now.
He's dead. Like
His throat don't work.
Good Samaritan.
Pause.
Yeah,
Oh, my goodness.
So it's
Oh,
like
my goodness.
There are so many layers.
Like Jesus is going to be down. Oh yeah, remember that story where Jesus saw the poor and the hungry and he kicked them in their face and threw them out of the thing. Like I mean, so the idea, like these, and again, this is the party that claims Christianity and claims Jesus, claims God, but yet supports the murder of anybody that disagrees with them. And it's like, well, what part of the Bible what part of Jesus's narrative are you referencing, you know?
Isn't that like one of the 10 commandments, thou shalt not kill? How's he a good
Asterisk
Samaritan?
next to that.
Yes.
There's an asterisk.
Yeah, that asterisk, and then you go down.
Thou shalt not kill white people.
Yes, unless you're black and brown, and kill them all. You know what I'm saying? That's really
Interesting.
And
What's
I mean,
the call?
that's,
Kill them all.
Yeah,
That's
and
what
it's
they
like,
be saying.
Don't do that.
and really, it's like, what do you learn as a Marine? You learn to go to black and brown countries and murder those people and take their resources and oil and have it to continue the money and power of America, right? Just bring American imperialism all over the world. I mean, that's kind of what
my man
you learn.
really said, "Let's show this Marine America's got his back."
Yeah.
I must not be American because I ain't got his back.
Absolutely not. And again, this is similar. This is, you know, if you want to say Biden was pandering with saying white supremacy at Howard, this is DeSantis pandering.
Yes, to this alt-right, this radical, this
racist,
divergent piece like of Americana that exists.
Right.
That is a legitimate voter base.
Right. So like Alvin Bragg as a DA, he's a pariah. He's evil. He's wicked. The black elected district attorney,
yes,
whose job is to enforce the laws.
Yes.
But this white guy who basically, just like you said, Trouble, murdered a black man on the subway whose crime was he was hungry. He's a good Samaritan. Like he's the one that Jesus and God and everybody should be with. He's the one whose back we should have. I mean, it's as white as it can get, man. I mean, super white. Yeah. Any other comments about that?
No.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And meanwhile, DeSantis also signed a bill.
This is wild. Like to me, this is more wild than what he said.
Signed a bill that will prevent Florida colleges and universities from spending any state or federal funding on diversity, equity, and inclusion programs.
How do you pass a bill about federal spending? You can't do that.
I mean, he did. The bill changes the way in which faculty members are hired and gives more power to the presidents of the universities. So basically, he defunded diversity and equity inclusion programs in Florida universities.
Miracle?
Comment, Miracle?
Will he or won't he do it? Clearly he will.
It's very white of him to do.
It just...
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Like, so now this is horrible because now technically all the HBCUs can be forced to shut down. Now, for instance, we know Black maternal health is a really big thing happening in this country where people are really trying to research and figure out how to make sure that Black people are not dying during birth and Black children are able to survive. And so if a doctor is like, hey, let me study these Black women, one person can say, I don't understand why we're doing this. Yeah. And then all of that research stops. Absolutely. If someone's like, hey, I'm noticing that all these first generation students are failing out of the university and the majority of them happen to be non-white, one person can make a complaint and all of any type of graduate programs and support can stop. Yeah. It's not just talking about race and racism. It's diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is just talking about your literacy rates, your graduation rates, your matriculation rates, your research. Like, you can't even talk about Florida, like the history of Florida. Yeah. You can't even talk about that some of the oldest Black towns are in Florida anymore.
True. Rosewood.
You can't talk about that. You can make people feel a type of way. And I know a lot of people are fighting back. I know the Haitian Cultural Center is fighting back. I know a lot of Florida-based HBCUs and Divine Nine. All these people are fighting back. But I will say that to sit there and tell people, oh, this bill is bad, but the Supreme Court will overturn it, makes me fearful that people don't understand the Supreme Court is already bought and sold for. And it's not a legitimate court anymore that's going to uphold people's rights and protect people. So it's a messed up law. And I really feel bad for all of the migrants and Black and brown people in Florida because it's just like they're really messed up. Like it's just trash.
It's trash. Yes. So I mean, and it's interesting because I think as we look at the whole Republican, I don't know, is this their rollout? Like the Democrats are doing their rollout. There was a Republican that we had a lot to say about very early on in this process. And
go ahead. What are y'all over there plotting? Because y'all over there whispering.
Yes. George Santos.
Oh, come on.
This is for you, George Santos.
Listen.
Hold on.
We got him.
We got you, George. Yes. The feds came. You can turn that off. The feds came in.
Free George till it's backwards.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Free George.
George Santos.
If that's even his real name.
Right, because he was using something else.
We don't even know.
What was the name? What was the other name he was actually using?
He had like 3 of them, right?
Yeah, he literally had like other names he was using. Like he's the ultimate scammer.
Yeah.
So the feds came in.
Scam God.
Hey, yo, George, that should be the name of his memoirs. Scam God. Yeah, yo, George Santos. So
the next level scammer.
The next level scammer. The Department of Justice, and I'm coming to you, Miracle, since she says free George. They charged him with fraudulent political contribution solicitation scheme that basically during his campaign, he was taking money from political supporters that was supposed to be about political ads and helping him. And he was going to, the store. He was going to Bergdorf. And
who is not your biggest ad than you yourself?
It says 2 donors transferred $25,000 each to the company one, which Santos controlled. Shortly after, the money was transferred to Santos' personal accounts, and he used for personal expenses, including designer clothing, cash withdrawals, and personal debts. Also, he did an unemployment insurance fraud scheme where he
said he qualified because he was underemployed.
He was earning approximately $120,000 a year at a full-time job.
120 is less.
At a full-time job, and he got over $24,000 in unemployment. I mean, Miracle, if you're working a job How you going?
But he was underemployed. He lost some money, and he said the rules were not clear. And he did not have the intent to defraud the government.
Obviously, Trump and Santos talked because Trump was like, "Yo, I got a lawyer for you."
Right? Yeah, like listen,
out of Pittsburgh. Hey, Santos.
Her name is Miracle Jones.
And 3 false statements to the House of Representatives. It said that Santos,
they shouldn't be his business anyways.
Alleged efforts to mislead the House of Representatives in public about his financial condition. He pleaded not guilty. And what's wild about it is the Republicans' response, including Kevin McCarthy, was like, yeah, we gonna ride with our dog, bro.
Listen.
Until he go to prison, we ride with our dog. We need them votes. Miracle?
To lie is to queer the truth, as someone said on Instagram. I just saw it. But no, I think it is funny that this is happening. We all knew it was going to happen because he has been committing allegedly fraud since he was like 16, 17 years old.
100%, yeah.
And the feds do not play about their money. Most people, whatever, you defraud here, you defraud there. The feds, they want what they owe. Yeah. They want what you owe and interest. And he made mistakes. And I think that had he just been a little more humble, it would have worked out in his favor. True. But when he literally said the rules were unclear, that meant he broke the rules. And it's also why any good defense lawyer will tell you never make a post indictment statement, let alone sit there and answer questions from journalists, because you're going to mess yourself up. And the fact that he talked about the rules, talking about why he did the stuff that he did, it's like, sir, you just admitted to fraud.
He actually said, this is the beginning of the ability for me to address and defend myself. You could have been doing that, dog.
I mean, come on.
Did that or you could have talked to the House of Representatives.
But I mean, I think you see like Trump as the head of the party saying lie after lie after lie. So it's like, why can't the rest of us? Why can't the rest of us just lie our way to success? Trump is, and he has a cult fan base, and he might be president again. Yeah. That would be my defense. My defense would be like, if he ain't going to jail, I shouldn't be in jail.
Right.
I mean, I think really we're going to see.
I mean, that's a valid defense, though.
Come on,
that's
man.
a very valid defense.
And then we see a lot of pundits and people starting to grift to become conservative to get the money because, again, like, I love the left and progressives, but they ain't got like $1 million just to drop, on you. And so now you see a lot of people like, hey, I'm going to get this money.
Yeah, I'm going to get this money.
I'm going to say whatever I want to say. I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do. And I'm going to get it. And if I win, I win. If I don't, oh, well. But like Santos, don't play with the Fed's money. Yeah. We saw with the PPP loans and how they were taking we never saw sweep since like the drug epidemic. True. They were coming for those loans. So again, just don't play with the Fed's money.
Absolutely. Do you all have a comment on Santos?
He looks like he's such a fun person, though. Like, you just know. Like, he reminds me like how Soulja Boy was talking when he was like, when he was shooting people. He just reminds me of like that every time he talks, like, he's lying.
It is different, though. Like, if you're throwing money up and it's like it's not yours. You're like, yo, this money, I got him. It's different. You know what I'm saying? If it's your money that you like, you kind of a little bit, let me hold on to my money. You know what I'm saying?
The money, the Brooklyn pastor, like, these scammers just have personalities. And
Ja Morant?
Listen, Ja about it. He said,
Ja said, I'm going to carry a gun.
Man, listen.
I feel so sorry for his friend because his friend tried to help him so bad.
No, but this is the thing. This is the thing. Ja knew his friend was on Instagram Live. But you would think that you would be like, hey, Ja, I'm about to go on Instagram Live. Put the gun away.
His friend dropped that phone so fast, like, nigga, what?
The hell?
Yeah,
but it's like, why are you holding? I'm on Instagram Live. Hey, I'm recording this, or maybe he didn't know. I don't know.
It's a fake gun, right? We don't know if it was real or not.
Is that what it is?
It is a fake gun. It's a prop because sometimes you just have to get used to the fact that you can't have a gun anymore. So you have to have like a fake prop.
It's like a patch.
That is
what a nicotine patch.
It's like a fake cigarette.
That's a nicotine patch.
Sometimes you just gotta hold it and be like, okay, this is not real, but I just need to hold it, and that's what it was.
He's addicted to holding guns on his.
Listen, the song just take over.
Oh my god!
NBA
man, listen, Ja turned into Tupac as soon as the music come on, man.
I tell you.
But I will say, I think it was I forgot what his name is from. He has his own show now. He used to be on TMZ, but he was talking about why are we so repulsed when we see black men with guns, and especially when they're not actually using them to commit harms and acts of violence. And you can argue whether or not flashing a gun on Instagram Live is the right thing to do, but like, why do we have such a visceral reaction to that? And I think that's a real conversation that we have to have.
I can answer that, Miracle.
Yes.
It's because okay, so it's context, right? If Ja Morant was at a gun range and was showing himself shooting his gun at a gun range, it wouldn't be a visceral reaction because that's a place where people have guns, right? If Ja was showing a video of him and his friends out hunting, like folks do in the South, right?
Yeah.
Here we are hunting, we're hunting deer, then again, it wouldn't be a visceral reaction. Ja's in a strip club, Miracle. Why do you have a gun inside the strip
run
club?
Up there. Have you
You're gonna shoot the strippers? Like, what are you doing? So it's like, again, Ja is in the car. They're dancing to rap music.
You ain't gotta get ready.
Like,
Stay ready.
Again, you're Ja Morant. You're not a gangster. You're one of the best basketball players in the world. And the first time you went on IG with a gun, it literally cost you hundreds of millions of dollars. You came out, you apologized. You said you went to therapy. You went to gun carry therapy. I didn't even know there was a therapist that specialized in holding on to guns. Like, so you did the interview with Jalen Rose. You apologized to everybody. And then like 2 weeks later, you're carrying a gun on IG Live again? So like, what's wrong with you?
My issue with it, and this is, kind of further into what you were saying for Ja Wick, is that like, it just showed poor, gun handling. Like, he's just so reckless with it.
It wasn't even a real gun.
But let's don't know that, Miracle. But that's the thing. Like, if it's unloaded or fake, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Right. Why
if
do you
it's
have
real, what the fuck is wrong with you? Because if you're driving and you're holding the Blitz like this and holding it up and everything, right? It looked like it looked
like he had his hand on the trigger.
Okay, so here's the thing: if he has a Glock with no safety, and he accidentally discharges his weapon in that car, and he shoots one of the people in that car, right? That only, like, he's just being so reckless with everybody else around him. That's the issue. Like, I don't care that Ja has a gun.
Me neither.
I don't care. Like, exercise Second Amendment right to the fullest. I support
have a closet
but
that looks like the Matrix. I don't care.
Handle your weapon safely.
Correct.
That's my thing.
I hate.
And if you say, like, if Ja was like, hey, hey, here's my house. I do have we've seen cribs and
gun
people have been like,
and all that.
yo,
Great.
I have
an armory,
I have
bro.
a collection of guns. It's for my personal safety. Again, it's in a particular context. But like what you're doing now,
it's not safe. Like, that's not safe. That's reckless.
I agree.
And if I'm his friend,
why you gonna point the trigger at me?
I said I agree. No. I'm saying, like,
violent.
If I'm his friend,
violent.
If I'm his friend,
you see, just it goes back there.
If I'm Ja Morant's friend, I'm gonna be tight, because if we were in the car, and I'm like, yo, nigga, put your fucking gun down.
Yeah, why are you waving a gun?
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that shit is just not safe.
And what type of, like, again, I'm older.
He said, what type of Negroes are
no,
y'all?
What type of, if the music makes you want to grab a gun, maybe you turn a different Spotify channel on. Maybe that's not like this is my jet. Where the gun at? Oh, I gotta hold a gun. Yeah. I can't properly dance to the song.
Ja said she wasn't with him shooting in the gym.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, again, Miracle, and more of it is about like how you just went through this, and a lot of us, we want him to win. We like him. We like how he plays on the court. We like how he represents his community. We like how he represents Memphis. So a lot of us want him to win. And it's like now your Nike deal in question there. Like all your possible endorsements are in question, and you're probably going to get their estimating 20 to 25 games at the beginning of the year. You just look like a fool.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he did do an interview where he said he was going to show us the real Ja Wick. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
He said he was going to show us who he really was.
Hey, you know what?
That's who he is.
If that's the case, then you know
you gotta embrace it
little
now.
dog in him.
You gotta embrace it now.
like-
now I want guns on every IG.
Absolutely.
Like you gotta totally embrace it now.
Yeah, you got listen, you better look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You better have 2 bandoliers, like Rambo in First Blood had an M4 out. You know what I mean?
I think
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I think he
come
can
on,
really
man.
pivot and use this to his advantage, and I hate that NAGA.
What, you know what? How would he do that, Miracle? Is he gonna become spokesman for the NRA?
I was just about to say, how come the NRA hasn't said anything about Ja?
The National African American Gun Association.
That's not a real place.
It is. It's called NAGA, and I feel
NAGA's crazy.
I
What?
feel very.
No, it's not.
It is. Look it
It's
up.
not. No.
Look it up.
I'm not polluting my search engines with that.
Everybody, look it up.
If that existed,
NAAGA.
if that existed, Farouk would be president.
It is.
Disbelieve.
Google it. My sister, I think, is a part of it. I think he should really
NAGA.
pivot.
Hey, yo, if you come out with a NAGA shirt on,
I'm so mad.
I might shoot you just
It
for
reminds me of Uncle Ruckus saying like the N word, like NAGAs, these NAGAs. But
Hold
NAGA,
up.
the National African American Gun Association, I think he should partner with them. Please not NRA, please not Black Guns Matter, because they're a little far right.
Bruv.
But I think he should do gun education, because like you said, if he's driving in a car, it goes off. Somebody in Texas just was coming back from a graduation, dropped their gun and killed themselves. They shot themselves in the leg. So I think he could do, 1, voter education, and 2, I think he could. There are a lot of like Black gun enthusiasts. I think he should partner with them to do like gun training. They do like some of the people I follow, they be outside, shooting. He can partner with Manny, and they do, because I think that there is a conversation about Black men and guns, but if this is something that he's so into, I think he should be able to channel his passions into something that is not only productive for him, financial for him, but also can improve other people's lives.
I would argue, Miracle. I would argue, and I mean, again, you giving mad PR, great PR advice. If you are somebody that has messed up in your life, you can like listen to Miracle on this show, and she will give you a pathway back. I think that I don't even know, in my opinion, watching Ja, I don't even know if he's passionate about guns. It seems to me he's passionate about an image that he's trying to portray. That comes with.
He was like 12.
It seems to me, I mean, and at 12 he was on Instagram talking about shooting people. Okay, come on, Miracle. We saw it. We saw the Instagram. Okay,
that's who he is at this point.
Right, but I'm just saying, it seems like, it's like, to me, if you want to capitalize on it, Ja, just make a rap album. Start writing gangster raps and put a gangster, because it seems like that's what you want to be. It seems like he's less interested in being a basketball player.
He about to go from Ja Morant to Ja Rule.
No, I hear it, but that's wye I want him to channel that into something productive
but again,
outside of rap.
Again, it's like we never. If Ja talked about gun ownership, if he's done mad interviews, he's never, like, if he talked about like why Black people should own guns, that'd have been one thing.
Right.
He seems
it's a lot of it's a lot of
he's not a
misopportunity.
miracle. He ain't got Big Blessing in his corner.
He seems to be fascinated with trying to portray an image that he's a gangster, he's a thug, he's hard, don't run up on me or my crew. And it's like, bro, like, why we want to, if we're running up on you, Ja, it's to get an autograph because you're one of the greatest basketball players in the world.
Right.
Who's trying to hate this man or harm this man
Ja
or
got ops,
do
man.
anything? Like, and if he does have ops, why? What would he be participating in that would create? I mean, besides like, LeBron on the Lakers, like, what other thing would he be participating in? This is why it's weird, right? Because it's like, bro, go be a basketball player and you're a citizen. You're a basketball player, and go and be safe. And grow old and make generational wealth for your family.
And he also comes from a background where he doesn't have to do street shit.
He went to private school. He's been great at basketball most of his life. He has a mother and father. And really, if I'm his dad, man, I'm really looking at his dad like, yo, what are y'all? Yeah. I mean, because clearly, like, I don't know. I'm assuming that his mom and dad are having conversations with him.
His mom's the one who told him to fight the people in the Foot Locker.
That is true. His mom did call him like, yo, they up here disrespecting your name, Ja. come up here with the goons and come on, man. That's what I'm saying. It's just, it's sad.
It's irresponsible all around at the end of it. Like, it's irresponsible, it's reckless, and the thing is all that shit aside, right? All of our opinions aside, it could be potentially dangerous to be around Ja Morant at this point. Like, if you are his friend, clearly he does not care or value your safety.
Like the NAACP has to issue like a warning. Like, don't be around Ja Morant. He has guns. He waves them around. Particularly if you play certain rap music, he's going to wave these guns.
The likelihood that something is going to happen either to him or just one of his friends is that they're going to be a victim of gun violence.
Yes.
If not because of his mismanagement of guns, but because the image that he's portrayed, because a lot of these podcasters are talking to actual Crips and actual gangbangers and they're creating hostility in Memphis.
It invites challenge. Like when you're on IG flexing like that.
Yes.
We've seen rappers get killed. We've seen influencers and all these other people be robbed on Instagram Live. It's like, so you're asking for someone to run up on you? Yeah. Like, that's the thing. Because it's really, man, them out there on the roads. It's really about that life, bro.
Right. And we've also seen rappers, right now, we're seeing rappers get hit with a RICO.
Yeah,
where
man.
they say, like, you and this whole group of people. So if he's around people that are committing crimes, or he's using his money to help people get crimes or get weapons to commit crimes, he could also get caught up in some type of RICO case and be in prison.
I said this the first time we talked about John. I'm going to say it again. It's evident he's not smart. He's just a stupid nigga like that.
Oh, wait, come, hey, bro.
Nah, like, yo,
relax, hey, yo, look at Miracle looking around. Come on, bro.
Like,
come
yo,
on.
bro, you're dumb. Like,
color
wheel, dumb, bro.
Okay, yeah, but let's not use the language.
color wheel.
Let's not use the language of the white supremacists,
man.
Okay, like what was it?
You know what I meant.
Kwame Brown called him NBA dumb boy. Which I thought was pretty funny, NBA dumb boy. But he is, and then he's also 23. Like, he's definitely, like, I wouldn't say I would definitely not use the language that you use, Proof.
I said what I said.
I would say I would say he's immature. I would say he's definitely
this is immature. This is stupidity.
This is also, but he's 23. He's also behaving like a child.
But I mean, I know better than not to wave a gun around in a car full of people.
Most people his age are doing that. Let's be like very clear.
I don't want to hear
if you
that
go
shit.
on social media, you're gonna see a bunch of people rapping with guns and stuff.
Even
like Glorilla, they posted a picture of her today talking about Ja being on his Glorilla, and it's her like holding the AK, and she looks like she's like about 12, right? So we understand that these youth are playing with the guns,
100%.
And that is why. Hold on, no, I'm not normalizing it.
No, it's already been normalized. You don't have to normalize it. Like what Miracle is saying is correct.
That's why it's so important, I think, to reach Ja and be like, you gotta change.
Yes.
Right? Because he's someone who's a part of this culture, who's influential. Mm-hmm. But people do not understand the likelihood of that gun going off. You may think, even if you haven't locked it all the way, if you haven't cleaned it all the way, what if your friend got into a car accident and
those are my points.
The gun drops and then starts shooting, right?
These youngins have not seen Pulp Fiction, brother. They don't know the dangers.
Right? And it's just like a lot of I think because we're at a certain age where we've seen stuff.
Yes.
And we know how quick life can change and how quick a gun accident can happen. I think we're sensitive to what the reality is of life, and I think someone like Ja, he isn't there yet because he hasn't experienced it. Right? He's been on the periphery. His friends have got jumped. He's been out, but he has not seen people. He's not had a hold people as they bleed out.
He's been in the gym playing basketball.
So that's what my thing is.
And to Miracle's point, just one more thing. Like I'm sure Ja's Instagram algorithm is probably about like, people playing this new wave of music, drill music, holding guns. I mean, so if you go on IG and people are playing like the songs that Ja was playing music and holding guns, that is pretty much been normalized by this generation right now. And it's one of the reasons that people believe there's an uptick in violence. Now, it's not the only reason. Like, we're not going to try to blame rap for the reason that violence exists right now, but it is that cultural piece where this generation of young people are playing this music, they're holding guns, real or fake. We don't know if they're real guns or not. And and all the rap videos are them in there holding guns. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we just seen now, we just seen like YoungBoy drop his new project. They in there, rapping about killing and and all this and this and that. Shout out to Dirk and Cole, who put out something a little bit more positive. You know what I'm saying? And so I think there is a conversation about that. And he's obviously caught up in that. You were going to say?
My final piece on this is if you're Ja Morant, if you're holding a gun or you're carrying a weapon to protect your friends, stop waving this shit around like that. And that's how you protect your friends. Like if you want to, if you really that worried, get bodyguards, bro.
Hey, bro,
you got money, hire private security.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Don't need to be. If Ja Morant is your protection, I mean, it's foolish.
Yeah,
that is foolish.
You in more harm's way now.
And be honest, bro, he wasn't trying to protect his friend. He was mimicking the videos and the
selfish
music and the culture that he's a fan of. And that's what he was doing the first time. That's what he's doing now. And he either needs to totally embrace it and just say, this is what I'm on. This is me. I'm going to be holding guns in videos, endorsements, be damned. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to put this rap music video or song out and, in 2024. Or he has to stick by what he said the first time. So I don't want to end with Ja. Let's end with some black excellence. We have a black excellence from Atlanta. I don't know if you know about these folks, Miracle. The Charles R. Drew Public Charter School varsity boys golf team in Atlanta, which has all black players and an all black coaching staff, has recently won the state championship, making them the first to do so in the state of Georgia. They also made history as the first ever Atlantic public school team to win a state championship in golf. Give it up for them. You know what I'm saying? Give it up for them. I'm trying to. Yes. Yeah. Charles R. Drew Public Charter School in Atlanta. All black coaches. All black team. Yeah, we coming on you're going to see us on the golf course too. We're going to mess that up for you as well.
This is what happens when you fund public education and make sure funding is equal and black people have the same opportunity and resources as everyone else.
Yes, and we hope, speaking of that, we hope that by the time you watch this, we will have good news from the election. We hope that those folks that want to invest in public education and want to invest in public safety, not in just more costs, but actually investing in communities and people that are on the front line to actually make us safe, our community safe. We hope that those are the individuals that are elected. But to take us out, we do have a white pages today, the selected works of Audre Lorde.
Audre Lorde, man.
Yeah. Audre Lorde. Edited and with an introduction by Roxane Gay. And so this is the definitive selection of Audre Lorde's, quote, intelligent, fierce, powerful, sensual, provocative, indelible prose and poetry for a new generation of readers. So if you're not familiar with her, you know what I'm saying, get this book. I got the title. Get familiar. I got the title right this time. Thank you. With that being said, any last words?
It's not the state must die.
Oh no, yeah, that was hilarious though. Last words, Miracle.
Never lose sight.
Never lose sight. Treble. Farouk.
Let's go home.
I love
bro.
your blackness.
Yes.
Turn up and celebrate yourselves.
And until next time, we'll see y'all next week. This week in White Supremacy. Peace. One hood, y'all.